Hi everybody, good morning. This is Jean here, Jean Truelove from Truelove Quilts for You. I am sitting at my sewing machine again today. I just wanted to address a few things. So many people in my last video of my putting my hexagons potholder things together have asked me how I'm feeling because I wasn't very well. There's been a lot going on. We've been with a lot of the family lately, doing things and being with the kids, and Maxwell, my husband, and I, especially Ian and I, are feeling much better. Thank you so much. We had, as you know, a pretty bad summer. The month of August, July and August were really rough for us, but we are feeling better. Not 100%, not at all. I had pneumonia, bronchitis, and all sorts of nasty stuff, and Ian was messed up, and I had all sorts of tests, so it wasn't a very good summer, but we are feeling better. Somebody said, you're looking much perkier. I don't know about perkier, but we are feeling better. Thank you so much. I am working on my hexagonal block, which I've put up some pictures. This is not a tutorial or anything right now, although I'm just going to be showing you how I'm doing the sides here. But before I get into that, just for a few moments, because as you know, I have a playlist for this quilt that I'm making. Again, if you haven't watched my playlist, people are asking me, perhaps who are brand new followers or subscribers, what size template and where did I get that. That's all listed on my playlist, but I did get the this template, which is uses a 10-inch square and then a backing fabric, which is bigger. You would need either scraps or fat quarters for the backing, or just if you want to do the back completely one fabric, you would need yards and yards, 6 or 7 yards of that. As I will show you, I did my backing all scrappy greens and blues. I got my hexagonal template from Martelli. Some people have asked where I got it from, and this is how the templates come. It comes in 2 pieces. Again, I was showing you this when I first started making my hexagonals. The top piece here, the front of my quilt top, I was cutting out from my 10-inch squares. Not quite as, there's just a little tiny bit that is a little bit bigger than my 10-inch squares, but I compensated for that with the backing that I actually cut from the backing template here. Now, somebody did ask that this outside template does not grip the fabric as well as the inside template. Martelli templates are awesome. They have this backing, a rubberized backing on it, and you put your fabric on, you put this template on your fabric and your fabric doesn't go anywhere. Somebody did have a bit of trouble with this template, this outer ring not gripping the fabric as well, which is true. But what I did, hopefully this will help, when I went to put my backing fabric on, which has to cut a bit bigger, I did keep the inside template in. I did keep that in, so it sort of held the outside one pretty good, so it didn't shift all over the place, if that makes sense. I just did it a bit small. I did it a bit slower, so hopefully that works. If you know who you are and you know what that problem you encountered a little bit. But before I just show you the few bits that I'm going to be doing here, I wanted to just do a sharing is caring. A couple of weeks ago I had done a sharing is caring, and I had gotten right after that 2 more pictures and 2 more small stories from 2 people who have watched me. So wonderful. The first one came from a Ray Seisinger. You know who you are. Dear Ray, it's so wonderful. I had made a Scrabble quilt years ago with my family, and there is a tutorial on how I did it with the actual Scrabble printed tile letters that I got from eQuilter. Again, you can go back. I will link that video. That sounds so professional. I'll link the video below. I think I can do that. But actually, Ray had done a Scrabble quilt with her family names, and she says, "Hello, Gina. I have enjoyed your tutorials and wanted to share my quilt influenced by you." I'm an influencer? Is that what that means? I influenced, oh wow, Truelove YouTube influencer. I've always heard that, and I never put, I don't want to be that. I don't want to influence anyone. Oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, thank you for sharing your knowledge. Yeah, I'm a knowledge sharer. What little I know with all of us in your YouTube land. I love your tutorials. Thank you, Ray. I was pretty happy by the way my Scrabble quilt turned out. I love it, and thanks to you. It's off my bucket list of quilts I want to make. It's so cool. You got tons of names too, Ray. So glad you have your Sojo back. I can't wait to see clips of the quilt show experience. She wrote this before we went to our quilt show with Ian, Maxwell, Jen, and yourself. Looking forward to seeing all the beautiful quilts and what you bring back. I actually didn't bring back a lot. I got a little tiny bit of fabric, and Maxwell got a mug. I have enough fabric here, but Jen got fabric. And of course, Ian and Maxwell videoed that. If you want to go see those videos, it's a few videos ago of the quilt show. So thank you so much, Ray Seisinger. Your Scrabble quilt is super. And it's so nice to be able to put a face to the name. So this, folks, as I have been putting up here, is Ray's beautiful, very wordy and very lots of names, Scrabble quilt. Thank you so much, Ray. I really appreciate it. Just beautiful. Thank you. And I had gotten one more, sharing is caring, from Joanne. Joanne, you know who you are. And this is so wonderful. I had done a tutorial on my Dear Jean quilt. That is, again, several years ago. Pretty much in-depth, week by week, couple weeks, sampler quilt, but in a medallion form. So if you want to make this quilt, I had people making this quilt who had never even quilted before. I did a pretty good job. And I'm humble too, right? About describing this and how to do this quilt. This is from Joanne. She made this quilt. Hi, Jean, Maxwell, and Ian. I finally found backing for my Dear Jean quilt after 2 years. I entered her quilt, her Dear Jean quilt, in the Stampede in Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada, and won first prize. I was so thrilled, so I wanted to share with you. Thank you for your inspiration. Hugs to all. Joanne, that is so awesome. Your colorways are just delightful. As you know, the pinks and the rosy pinks and the greens, just so absolutely beautiful. And it looks like there's embroidery here. It's just wonderful. No wonder you won first prize. Absolutely. I'm sure my readers will say that absolutely deserved first prize. I can't believe it. I made this on the fly. I really did. Boy, I'm good. No, this is so beautiful, Joanne. Thank you so much, and you deserve to win first prize. Wow, that's awesome. Really very, very pretty. So thank you, and I'm sure my subscribers and our friends in YouTube land will appreciate all of the work that went into your quilt. But right now, I'm going to show you, what am I going to show you? I've already showed you in the beginning the quilt that I'm working on, my blue and green quilt, which actually it's growing on me. A lot of people are saying, oh, I like the blue and green. My husband really likes this quilt. But I was going to be showing you exactly how I did the infill to make a hexagonal quilt into the square or the rectangle that it will be. I was telling you in the previous video, but I'm going to actually show you how I'm going to do that. All right, so thank you so very much, and I do hope you enjoy this video. So here is my quilt so far. Again, I have to iron it because it's a little bit lumpy in places, but it will smooth out because all of my blocks are lovely and smooth. It's just sewing them together with my zigzag. Now, what the point I'm getting to right now is I had shown you in my previous video without the corners. I haven't put the corners on. How I cut out these blocks. Now, somebody did say, why couldn't you have put them on the fold? Because I actually cut a full block in half with that point to make the top. And those blocks right there are here. These are the top. This will again be the bottom of my quilt to have the edge go as a straight edge right across. So these are the half of the blocks that I just folded in half and I cut with the point there. But on the sides of my quilt, I wanted to show you, this is just pinned up, this next row. This block here is, as you can see, on the side, the square part. Okay, now here is the other side of that block that I just cut in half. If you can see that, this is just pinned on there. So I'm going to be putting this block, this half block, over on the other side of my quilt row, over there. Now this quilt is just from the quilt top. It's just literally a quilt top, the size of a mattress, queen size mattress, from this edge over to that edge there, okay? I will, as I was saying, I will be putting a slash border, quite a big border, to make almost like a bedspread. I'm making a bedspread out of this quilt. It's going to be a little bit unusual, but I want to do that. So what I've done is I've done full rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 full blocks there, as you can see. And then here I have to have every other row I need a half block. Do you see that? So this print with the butterflies, the other half is over there with the butterflies, right there. So this row is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 whole blocks, 2 half blocks. Again, this row is 7 whole blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my next row will be a half block, and then again at the other end, I will be putting this block to make it a half block right there. So I'll just continue here. I do have these. I haven't even figured out how many of these I'm going to be needing. I just had started making a ton of them. I might need more to make. I have some more to make over there in my pile over here. So I will be working on that. But this is just, again, my quilt top without the sides going off the side of the bed. But this is how I achieved the square bit. Now you might be saying, well, this is raw edge and that's a bound edge. I will be trimming that and then like stay stitching it before I actually put the ruffle on. I could quilt a border and put it on like a double-sided border. I could do that. I was thinking about how to do that and just have a square border like you would on a quilt, quilted as you go, square border. But Ann and I have decided that we want to make it more of a bedspread, as I said, and make a ruffle of my border fabric. So that, again, but I will come to that when I come to that. But it's coming along. I have done how many rows now here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on my 7th row. I remember saying about quilt as you go that I never really understood it because you have to wrangle the whole quilt to put the blocks together anyway. But as I'm doing this, I realize, as you can see, all I'm doing is adding 1 row here under my throat here, just 1 block worth, and then all of the rest of the quilt is over here to my left. So I'm not actually having to get to the center and push it all under here. So the quilt as you go does actually work. I sort of shied away from it. I don't mind quilting a large quilt, but for those of you who don't want to, but the most important thing I see right now is having the room on this quilt in particular. I don't know about other quilts. I don't know how you do the other ones. On this quilt in particular is to have the room over to the left-hand side, which I do have a nice large table here to take my quilt. As I'm sewing on just 1 row, the whole quilt is on over here. So I'm just going to continue finishing up these lovely little puzzle pieces. It's sort of lovely, this hexagonal as it goes together. I quite enjoy it. And yes, I'm coming to grips with the blue and green. It'll be pretty. You must make sure that you're catching both sides of the blocks exactly on your wide zigzag stitch, as I showed in my previous video. And then that's it. My machine does have an automatic foot lifter, presser upper. I was doing it manually, and I thought, why am I doing that? It automatically lifts up. So I'm coming to the end of what, this seventh row now? Just butting them up next to each other, these hexagonals. Needle down, push them together. So it's worked up quite quickly. And that's it. My next row. Oh, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty. And then the back, more solids. A real patchwork quilt, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty. All right, folks. Have a lovely day. See ya.